Well, hello. This is your host Eric of GMODISM, and we're back here into From the Depth. I just had this little project ongoing, a little realization that we can make a 3000mm cannon. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but let me show you why. Oh, and a little notice. Go to the view and control, and inside here on the alpha update of the game, the current alpha update as of right now, if you're watching this right now, there is an option for camera control, so you can actually basically return the camera to how it was before. If you want to know more about that, please watch the GMODISM channel, my secondary channel, for a video about that where I go through those settings. I just had this little realization. When I was building cannons, cram cannons, you can build up to 2000mm, so 3000mm is pretty specific. You might wonder, how would we be able to make this even larger? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you can't. However, I did see a video from that hitman which built the baguette, which we looked at earlier, and he made a video where is something he calls, I don't know how many millimeters he calls it, but it basically bunches together like cram cannons in a big pattern and basically do the multiplication for the diameter of the would-be shell then. This is not something I'm thinking to do with this. No. The shell, so to say, is really gonna be 3000mm. And you may think, oh, I know what you're doing now. You're gonna have an APS, some railguns, some gravitational rams, a smoke head, and launch a block structure that is basically 3 by 3 meters, thus calling it a 3000mm cannon. Very cool idea. We might do that sometime. That's not what I'm thinking. We're not gonna do a mass driver. We're not gonna have some weird mods. No. We are going to go to the missiles tab. As you may notice, the huge missile happens to be... That's the large missile, that's completely wrong. The huge missiles, they happen to be 3000mm in diameter. So, alright, I'm gonna launch a pneumatic missile to the target, and that makes it do damage. Oh no, we're not gonna do that. And I have done such a system before, by the way. This is the over-under pneumatic deck launcher system. And yeah, it is what you might imagine it being. It's a pneumatic. It only uses air pressure to launch it. They have a short-range thruster, but they got no fuel, so it's completely pneumatic. It's just air pressure cannon. And this is thus launching to 2000mm shells, of course, being large missile launchers. It's not that really. It's a bit close to that, but no, not really. It's actually pretty close to that, but I noticed a weird thing. Can you see what's different between these two missiles? This one is the thumper head, reinforced body, short-range thruster. This one has explosives, shape charge head, which could be nice to have as a cannon ammo, of course. But if we launch this thing and turn down time here, will you like... Did it even... Okay. Interesting. And you may think, what the hell happened there? Well, I did some tests, and it turns out if you change the elevation ejection, stuff kind of happens, and it goes faster or slower a little bit depending on. So we're gonna turn on the slow motion clock, and we're gonna click launch. And when we click launch, okay, this one didn't launch. Right. Come on. Let's try again here. Anyways, it launches backwards, right, with the elevation angle. And this thing, it launches forwards. So I don't know if you see these specks in the mixture, but this thing, which will launch backwards, it kind of just continues. It has a pretty decent reach. So we basically set up some additional tests here. Oh, if you want the over-under turret, it's a no craft so far. But this is a good time to say thanks to those who have access to this. Big thanks to all of the commissioned officers in the army of GMODISM. Commodore Owen, Captain Sebastian Dode, Shiro, and our new captain Awesome Pupper. We got Commander Ben Wilkie, new as well, and our lieutenants Antor Cravey, Flores Dagan, Josef Wysowski, Hard by Greed, Vincent Veritas, Rick Proel, Scooby Rocks. And of course, thanks to all our cadets and the members of the ECCLESIARCHY, which is the YouTube members. Your monthly support helps the channel a lot, of course. That said, if you're a commissioned officer, you have access to this if you want to play around with it and stuff. And everyone will have access to it later, of course, when we are having it publicly on a vehicle. But anyways, when I played around with this, I basically noticed this little phenomena. If we check these settings here, you can see here we have different launch settings when we look at them. So here we got this thing, the backwards like launcher can get up to a speed of 120 meters per second. And you might think, why is that? This just has a sticky flare and radar simulator, so it doesn't have the thruster, which it usually should have. It is a large launcher. It's not a reversed launcher. So if we just change it to a large launcher, you can see its speed is now down to 220 meters per second. With a normal launcher, it's 320, and it has to do with the launch angle. If we change this reversed one to a regular one, we are decreasing the speed from 320 to 300. I don't know why. That's just how it works. And if we look at this thing, you can see we have different, like the layout doesn't really affect how it launches like that. If we however add a short-range thruster, it usually makes it faster, but not in this case. It's still the same when we have it as a sticky flare or whatever we got. If we check the settings here, the ejection elevation is 180. If we change this ejection elevation, you can see the speed, the launch speed is changing too. So now it's suddenly 270. If we move it back to like 0, like the stock, it's 215. If we move it back to plus 180, it's 220. I don't know the big difference with positive 180 and negative 180, but the answer is 100 meters per second in launch speed. This is really strange. This is really strange indeed. If we launch it at a 90 degree versus negative 90 degree, we still have, oh, we got different speeds there. So the negative values seem to come with a bigger speed. Why is that? And by the way, if you launch it like this, you will like make it pop up like that. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't go very quickly, does it? It doesn't feel like it's going as fast as it says it will. Well, we fire this again. You can see it doesn't really go anywhere. It's weird. I was just tinkering around here and I was thinking, did I mess something up when I saved it or something? Because this is not acting like I remembered. This one with launch speed and this one here with a like elevation ejection that basically teleported it through the block like this. The reversed launched ones with a ejection elevation that was reversed, they were so much faster. Whoa, what happened to that? Anyways, and now they're just not. I think I'll need to get back to stable. Maybe. This was a bug they just patched away. That would be really sad when I just found this research. Alright. So this one obviously launched pretty quickly here. But it's reversed, yeah? Ah, interesting. Let's see how this one goes here. It goes like pretty quickly, but it's not quite the stuff we had before here. If we go to this direction, I don't know, did it despawn or something? Alright, so all is not lost here. I did some more tests. We're gonna get back to like stable build of From the Depth, but apparently with the update they are now checking for collisions between like these missile ejectors and stuff, so I removed some here. And when we try to reverse the ejection elevation, it like flips around. But the really cool thing I found out is like this little thing here, okay? Let's turn down time and we just click launch. You can see this missile pops in here, going pretty strongly, nice like that. And this one, well, it does that too. They're just moving in separate directions like this. And if we speed up like that, you can see that this missile, well, with drag and stuff, it starts to fall down and, you know, it's affected. With this missile, wherever it is, yes, it fell down to the water, but it's kinda unaffected by drag. Yeah, it's launched backwards and it just doesn't care about drag. Yeah, it's gonna continue in this direction until it dies or something. I don't know. It's weird. Unfortunately, however, the huge missiles are not available with a reverse launcher. So we have to do with the forwards facing launchers like this one. And with it, I could set a elevation like angle that was like 180, you know. But now that doesn't work. It like it has collisions. It's really annoying. Actually, I wonder if the safety fuse could possibly do so it doesn't even collide. No, well, we tried. So I'm gonna restart the game in not alpha test, but in stable mode. And we're gonna check again. Right, so here we are in From the Depth stable build, no alpha update or anything applied, so yeah. Here we can see the structure here, and that's, you know, what I was thinking I wanted to show you today, and then I didn't realize it got patched away. That's such a shame. Anyways, if you don't play alpha, it will react like this. Let me actually turn down time. And we're just going to fire. Wait, what? Oh. Is it maybe not this? Is it that we tried to turn down time and that's the issue? Okay, I'm intrigued. Because if I'm gonna be honest, I had to test it before I showed you this now. Like, before I started the recording again, I just wanted to see if it worked, and it did. And now I showed it to you and it didn't work. This is so weird. I'm just getting more and more confused. Like, look at this. When we're just watching down and firing, now they're going in this direction. This is what I wanted to show you. And you can see the reverse flying ones, they are completely unaffected by drags. Well, I already showed you that a bit, but you can see away here, 1400 meter, that's a decent range. And now these ones, like the proper launched ones, are coming afterwards, they're just so much slower. But man, what affects this? There we have a proper launch. And as you can see, the ones that are launched in the right direction just doesn't work very well. And these ones, well, these are flying very well when we have that type of reverse launch angle. So, I'm not quite sure on what's going on here anymore. I thought I knew what was going on, but apparently I don't. We're just going to see if this repeats itself in slow motion or not, if we just watch down here and click fire. No, it doesn't. It's like that little time lag gets it through the block somehow, and when we are in slow motion, it doesn't work. And one might wonder, what happens if we like launch it 90 degrees upwards or whatever? Let's see what direction that will be. In my experience, it's gonna be super slow. What the? Okay, I don't even know anymore. This is very interesting. So 90 degrees launch backward like this. What is happening? I think we need to pop back to alpha, since I do play that usually, and see if it really got updated away. It like jumps up like that. That's weird. That's really weird. Well, I'm going to go back to alpha. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to alpha mode and see if we can repeat these results there. If you wanna know what alpha test version this is, if you're watching this later, well, you can see it here. Anyways, designer mode. Alright, so here we are. Can we repeat the test results? Okay, let's see here. Fire! Alright, right. Now, fire! Oh yes, it works in alpha. It works in alpha, ladies and gentlemen, it works. Forward launch, this has a lot of drag. Forward launch with a little cool nose cone, it has less drag. Same with this. And here, this thing should have a lot of drag. This thing too. They just want. You can see the speed. All of these are basically died / slowed down. They're not dangerous anymore. And these ones, well, they're just going. Especially this one, mate. What the hell? What are we doing? This is insane. Yeah, that's sadly a 2000mm cannon, so I don't really see why I would like that. Man, that's pretty far. I kind of like to have this. This could be a cool sticky flare launcher, don't you think? So it only works if we are not in any type of slow motion mode. That's a little bit sad though, because that means that we have a lot of limitations. Well, this one has 330 launch speed and this has 320. So this should actually be slower. But that's really not what we see. That's really not what we see at all. When they just go away there. So, now we are here again with tinkering these types of values. And obviously it's like a bit risky. It's not like the best way to set it up, but this seems to be a good way to make it launch very, very, very fast. If we have a short-range thruster with no fuel, I wonder if we can increase the shell speed here. You can see it is actually going fastest for... Now it's fastest. Now it is fastest. You can see how it goes. It has no drag when it's backwards. We far bypassed the previous shot here, which ended up here, I think. Very interesting indeed. if we just go to this one, just skip the thumper heads. We're just gonna go with the warheads. We're gonna have 2 reinforced bodies, like nothing fancy, just a slab, just a slug. Bam, we just fired a slug like this. Yeah. This seems to be a pretty effective ammunition. I wonder how much damage this does. And like, how far away from the AI are we? 4,000 meters? It's of course not accurate in these speeds. Oh man, look at this go. Just continues having an even better speed. I think it starts to slow down when it's like flopping up and down like this. You know what? You know what? I think the mod we need to this is switch one of the reinforced bodies with a ballast tank. And we're gonna make the ballast tank be basically neutral. It's neutral there. And then we're gonna use the internal space for reinforcement. This means that our impact damage per meter is thus, well, 1,600. I think we're gonna do like this. We're gonna do a couple of copies of this system. And we're gonna switch out some different loadouts. We can keep this just to compare. These ones are kind of boring. It's only this one that actually delivers stats. This one has a short-range thruster and this does not. Actually, I want to see them side by side a little bit there. Okay, let's do that first. But it's good to know we can't use speed mode. Alright, so this slug, it's forward launched and that's its problem. It's gonna be slow, it doesn't matter. This just goes. Yep. You know what? These and these are not fun at all. I think we might actually make some type of launcher of some kind with this. I don't know, it can be there for fun in the meantime. This forward launching system we can have as a bit of a comparison. But we have to accept that it's a little bit iffy how well this will work. Because, you know, if the game lags and we have some weird stuff happening, I kind of suspect it won't even launch properly, which is of course absolutely unacceptable. If you're a bit new to missiles, well, do know that the missile ejectors, the more you add, the faster launch speed you will have. So that's why we have max. Now we have 335 meters per second. And that's really fast. That is faster than cram cannons shoot. This is why this is a viable cannon system, right? We have to compare this to a cram system later in terms of cost effectiveness. But what I want to do is I want to see if we have a short range thruster, for example, how will that change things? And if we have, instead of that, we have a thumperhead nose cone. The thumperhead nose cone does have some characteristics of increasing the damage. So this thumperhead has AP impact 15 and almost 1.7 damage. 7k, yeah. This has 2 also. It has the same actually, having reinforced bodies. And the thumperhead doesn't seem to add anything, honestly. I did think it actually had a multiplier, just like heavy heads. Apparently it does not. Oh well. Launch! So, we are locking onto the one in the middle and we are just watching them go. Here we can see that, oh, the one with a short-range thruster. What is happening over here? It is continuing to go forward. The ballast tank here, the thumperhead, for some reason, it has a ballast tank and a thumperhead. It is the worst one. This one sinks. Why does it sink? It's like it has some type of drag due to that metric. This one continues because obviously it has a natural floatiness. When it hits the water, it wants to go up again there. Right, that's quite interesting. So if we go in here and set to this ballast tank, I do wonder. If we set this to -5, like half gravity, how will it perform? And we're gonna switch it to like max gravity, and we're gonna see if the gravity is somehow calculated into its moving. Okay, so when it has gravity, it goes down into the water and sinks a little bit, which is of course very like natural and stuff, but in this case it's of course not what we want. It's probably better that it just jumps up and down. If we put it to max buoyancy, we should see some very interesting results. Whoops. In here. So when it floats down here, oh. Alright, it doesn't really help. That is very interesting. It floats up again like this, but this one, with a short-range thruster instead, just continues to go. I wonder then if the short-range thruster was perhaps a bonus actually, even if we can't see it in the stats here. So if we make this like system here, I'm gonna copy this thing. I'm gonna paste it over there, so we have the ballast tank there, and on the back we're gonna add a short-range thruster. Now the short-range thruster doesn't have any fuel, so it won't do anything, but when we did pneumatic systems before, it did increase the launch speed, but just for free, just higher launch speeds for free. Whoa, okay. All right. So this one is dropping, this one is continuing. Looks like there is something intrinsically bad with adding a ballast tank, to be honest. If we check back to the system here, this one does have impact damage meters per second, 800, 880, 880, 800, almost 880. I don't know if this is the difference. The ballast tank, it has internal free volume of 99.9%, so that's why there is a small difference of impact damage. This is a little bit more reinforced body, but this is actually mostly reinforced body since we set free internal space used for reinforcement. Anyways, this one is outperforming this one with the ballast tank. That is quite obvious. If we have this ballast tank, set it to positive, and instead of a short-range thruster, we have a reinforced body there. And if we go to this one and we just have 2 reinforced bodies, which will be the better one here? Well, we shall indeed find out. The missiles is popping down here the line. Whoa, and the middle one here. The middle one here is completely unaffected by drag. Very interesting. These are going forward. Yeah, we are right now 1,800 meters away from the AI. But man, this setup is just going for it. I don't know why this is just magically better, but the results speak for themselves. We'll have to copy these to each of the designs. We're gonna see if there is anything different we can make between these. If we change this one to a thumper head instead, we got a basically equal stat here when it comes to damage. And this one, short-range thruster and ballast tank. Yeah, to positive. Let's go indeed. And we're gonna lock onto them. Woo, now I unlocked myself there a little bit. And now, oh, whoa. It's like there is something magic with the middle launcher. Now we swapped the optimal loadout to this one. But now we're having the performance on this one here. This is weird. Do we have a magical glitch with the middle launcher or something like that? I think I'll need to investigate some settings here, to be honest. I'm not sure what's going on. You know, what we can do, I didn't find any difference, but we can copy to all matching launch pads. So possibly to remove any potential errors, we're just gonna connect up these and make them all the same shell like this. We're gonna, just for the sake of it, paste the settings of the huge launcher. While they already should be the same, we can't be 100%. And we are going to do a launch. So let's see here. Is there something magic with the middle one? No, now it is bad? What the hell? Is there some random factor going on while we come to this place? This is weird. I wonder if it's something to do with them like moving and tilting in the water or something like that. It is continuing forward. I think it's more to do with the randomness of the motion here. Interesting indeed. They all got very far, of course, but yeah. Well, we're just doing some more side-by-side tests. So we can basically have some type of understanding what could possibly be going on here. Wait, what? Will you not... Oh, I paused the game, right? That's right, okay. Now we can see here. I added a sticky flare to one of them just because it looks cool. It absolutely removes the damage it was dealing, but whatever. Right now it seems that the thumperhead may provide some type of advantage. But we're gonna swap them over and see if that's even the truth. Oh, well, this one just continues. But if you move back here, you can see this one deals 800 damage per meters per second. This one deals 80. That's, of course, abysmal. Anyways, what's the damage of this at launch speed? Should we calculate that? Yes, we should. All right, so 800 times 335. That is over 250,000 damage. So it deals a lot of damage at launch. Theoretically, that is. Well, this one looked like it was doing a little bit better here, so we're gonna copy this to all the launch pads and we're gonna switch this to a reinforced body. And just to test, we're gonna switch this to a pure reinforced body just to make sure we don't have any just flukes. Right, so we are firing like this. We can see that the short-range thrusters, it's very unclear if they even provide any type of advantage. The solid slug does seem to have a more stable flight. To be honest, it seems to be more luck-based than to have to do with the reinforced body or heavy head or any, yeah, reinforced body's angle more than anything else. The thruster doesn't seem to have any advantage right now. It just seemed to be luck in that situation then. Now this is quite interesting. So we have a luck-based system as well, which makes it super difficult to evaluate this. But you can see in this tests, it's probable that we don't need that. Well, if we just swap this to a reinforced body. Ooh. There is another thing that might be useful as well. It will slow it down. But in the next test, I'm gonna show you that. We're just gonna check this out. We got these. And that one, for some reason, didn't go very far this time. And now the one with the short-range thruster is going very far. Yeah, this is weird. I was thinking, what if we have fins? Maybe it will stabilize it. Maybe it will stabilize the flight like fin stabilized. I think it just adds drag, basically. That's very sad. And now we actually got the better speed with the no thruster version. Good to know. Well, fins is obviously not a good idea. I wonder if there's like some weird stabilizing property of a turning thruster, even though we don't have anything to make it, you know, power them. Like if they have some built-in gyro thing or whatever. It doesn't make it worse, but I don't think we can see significantly better results than before. No, not really. Well, good to know. Then we can just basically add solid slugs. Having the short-range thrusters is, well, sometimes a good idea, sometimes not. It's, as said, completely luck-based, which is weird. I guess it's kind of the angle they hit the water or something. Looked like it tried to fire there. It's weird. Well, let's test the slow motion thing again. What if we fire this in slow motion? Yeah, doesn't work. So this is a good thing to know, because if we have this on really like expensive crafts, yeah, that can be a problem, because expensive crafts battles tend to lag a lot. So yeah, we're gonna see if they fire on half speed or not, but we obviously know what to do to make a 3000mm cannon, basically, which is cool. Right, so we're just gonna slow down time a little bit until we get to half speed around about. Oh, and it still doesn't work. Great. Let's switch back to real-time speed and fire again. And oh, they didn't work because they were like missiles over there or something? Well. I wonder if we can have a trail even though we don't have a thruster. Let's try that. Alright, are we full speed? Aww. It looks like we like accidentally mess things up sometimes. Oh well. You know what? I think we'll need to do like this. Need to take it out to play. And there we go. Okay. No, we can't have a trail color without... Okay, then we know. Or wait, did we? Well, we're not having a trail here. But we do actually have one of the loadouts. You have... Oh yeah, right. You have the trail color, do you not? You don't even have the setting for you. Let's set up the custom one for each of them here. All right. No, we can't have trails. Well, end of that story. Anyways, there is one thing we have to do. Well, we have to make a neat shell. We have to make it look like a shell, right? We're gonna go for pure reinforced bodies because that seems indeed to be a better loadout to go with. I do, however, want to try one thing here, and the impact damage is gonna be like 500,000 with this, by the way. I do want to try one thing, however. What if we have like what if we have like ammunition on board? Like if we have like frag on one and stuff like that. I want to see the properties so we know if it's an option to kind of change the loadouts. Yeah, they seem to fly the same actually, so we can stuff whatever we want on them. Neat. Good to know. Well, in any case, we're gonna drag out the missile decorator. Wait, can we just take 1 second and appreciate the sadness of not cheesing and just launching them like you should? Look at this poor thing go. No ammo storage? I think we may have bugged something, whatever. Look at it, it's just so sad. There it goes, in the crosshairs, and the cheese ones are just continuing to oblivion. Sad. And with that, we'll have to say bye-bye. It's gonna be so fun to see what you all come up with in the trials, the Army of GMODISM Trials Season 2 with the missile launchers. Since for that I basically force you to only do things that are pointy because of, well, you know, it's funny or something. We're gonna make a simple shell here. There's a little nice block you can use for a shell, and it's under air. It's called propeller hub. It looks like an ammunition. Now this is reverse launch, so I suppose we'll need to build this shell reverse as well then, most likely. And if we just go here and we just place this down like this, if we go to this and select a munition decorator set. Oh, isn't that nice? They're a little bit too big. But you can see what we're going for here. We're going for like average bullet. Now, in the mimic menu here, we can change this so that it is indeed the right size. So to say, 0.8 seems to be the thing here. And we can make it a bit like thicker or longer or whatever we like. I think we can go with something like this perhaps. Left and right scaling has to match, of course. 0.8, 0.8, and material override. Obviously, we want to find lead somewhere here. Lead material. Oh, that looks so ugly. I don't know about that. Maybe like uncolored lead. This looks stupid. I don't know about this. Anyways. And in the decorator munition decorator set, model diameter. Yeah, you'll need to change this to the correct levels as well. Something like this. Model length. We can make it like, we can change it if we want to. Disable the default missile we want to do. We also may want to move this back and forth dependent on where we want it. Something like this maybe. All right. So now we have like real slugs. Beautiful. 3000 millimeter shells. Anyway, they're going pretty fast. They're not that affected by drag, and you know, right now we are 3000 meters away, which is probably a pretty decent effective range of a cram cannon anyways. So there is that. I came up with a nice new design for this. I don't know what it's called. Maybe some army nerds are here can tell me. You know, like not a full metal jacket, but like a partial one. But also not quite a hollow point because I can't be bothered making that. That's a lot of work. And we might do it later if we want hollow point, but I just want a generic little thing. So I'm gonna have this like partial metal jacket over the shell like this. I think that's maybe it is almost hollow point, I don't know. Anyways, something like this. Excellent. Fat and silly shells like this. This is what we're going for. Anyways, I think we'll have to just test the damage of this thing. So we're just gonna set up a little bit of a target in front of them. Nothing advanced, just a block. A block of stuff. Just a little friendly piece of metal. Alright then. Well, we can't check out this in slow motion, so I guess we'll just... Oh no. They just disappeared. What happened? Are they glitching inside of here? What? Oh yes, they are. They are. That's interesting. That's weird. Okay, I think I may know the technique here. If we fire them... No. Alright. Right. Freeze them in the air like this. Then turn on slow motion mode. And let them go. No. They won't damage its own vehicle, it seems. You know? I think it may be that warhead arming delay was set to something, you know? Let's try that again then. Same thing again. Wait, what? What did that sticky flare come from? Oh, look! That's damage. Oh! But perhaps... Something seems a bit bugged. No? Did I? No, we have a sticky... Why? Right, this is starting to be a little bit weird. It is quite clear. We'll have to test this against the real targets. Because this... Well, it simply doesn't really work, does it? I think it doesn't want to hurt itself, even if we set the warhead arming to like 0. Yeah. I kind of knew that this could be an issue, but yeah, it doesn't work here as well. Which I should have known, but well. So the only thing to do is build a target on another platform. Right. I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I haven't tested this now. Up to test. Ooh, look at that. That's some pretty neat damage. I like that. What did we even throw at it? Reinforced body, thumper head, thumper head. Oh yeah, I tried a thumper head there. This is very interesting. Do the non-thumper heads really do good damage or not? Well, up to test. It seems to be doing, yeah, 2000 or 219k damage. That's pretty neat. Right, so with the thumper head. Whoa. Oh no, slow motion. Oh no. Right, now we have full speed here. No? Honestly, I kind of think the success rate has gone down because now we have more structures in the air, so it's more likely that we'll, like, not do damage due to them not firing correctly. Well, that was 221k damage, so basically the same. If we run this again and we get same damage, yeah, we do. We're gonna see what happens if we swap this to reinforced body. See if Thumperhead somehow gets a bit of upper hand or not. And there we have it. No, it's the same. So reinforced body, Thumperhead doesn't matter. Well, now I feel like we have this setup here. We can probably just cut off these to the side here. I feel we don't need this and that. It's enough with one of them. We activate connection checks. Now we can try out some different loadouts, basically. What happens if we have like 180-degree frag? Now remember that these frags are gonna basically spawn backwards, so it better be 180 degrees. And if we fire that, bam! Oh, that's a pretty scary cram. It deals some decent thump damage and frag damage then. That's a scary surface weapon. And if we have... oh, by the way, the damage we're dealing here. To load this costs 250 materials, so it's not like free. Right, if we had it explosive instead... Then we deal a 270k damage of surface explosive. That's pretty brutal, actually. I wonder if, like, slugs may not be the best option here. Now, of course, they will get through sieves very well, and the other ones will not. And of course, my favorite, incendiary. Now we have to wait forever, but the fire is gonna tick up. We didn't change the settings here or anything, it's just pure fire damage, so we should probably have intensity. Yeah, we should probably have max intensity, a good bit of oxidizer, max intensity, good bit of oxidizer. This takes too long. Too long. Alright then. Now we are oh! It actually does penetrate a bit through the armor here. And then it starts to fire, so if you have surface like onion layer armor, this might punch through. It's really funny that it punched a 1 meter hole like that, considering that the projectile is actually, well, a good bit bigger. You can see here, the health of this thing is just 9,000. So we should really have like a reinforced body there. And then we have an 80,000. A big difference. It actually has like Doom cram levels of protection. I do wonder if we combine like explosive with reinforced bodies, if we can get a penetration depth explosion like that. It seems that we kinda got, but not that good of a penetration. This is nice. We're gonna compare that to pure reinforced body. Whenever that reloads. And just see here, bam. Well, reinforced bodies is probably the go-to, but we can mix in some other shells there too. That's pretty neat. I like this. It definitely have Doom cram levels of health. And the cost of this system, if we go to this missile controller, stats, so 30,000. Yeah, this is not a bad system actually. It obviously will not compare to a cram cannon. I don't think it will. Material per firepower, let's see here. Material per firepower is actually pretty decent. This kind of surprises me. Weird. Well, it claims that the material per firepower is slightly better if we make it bigger, and we can make it have the same launch speed. So that's kind of interesting, but as you can see here, it doesn't consistently glitch through its own missile block as often, which is an issue. And the reload time is 30 seconds compared to 20 seconds, so it's a good bit longer, of course. I'm gonna take the target out of play, and we're just gonna fire. And you can see. Yeah, it seems that making them larger makes them more less reliable. So when we're doing glitch backwards launch like this, it seems that we can't really play with this type of system really. If I remove this missile controller, we can see if we can make it work. Sure, we're running at full game speed. Bam, okay, right. Good to know then. It would have been cool with real big slugs, but 3000 millimeters is the goal, not like max length of the shell, right? So yeah, looks nice. Before we wrap up this video, there's probably just one thing to do. Basically make it look like a cannon and put it on a turret system. Obviously we need to make it control elevation as well, so we have a elevation turret on a 3-axis turret. And we're gonna paste this assembly over there. Now, I'm not sure I'll be able to make it aim with the AI without using breadboard or stuff like this, but well, we're gonna see how far we can get with this, or if I need to consult some breadboard experts. Just like this. So we'll basically have a thing that looks like a loading tray completely for free. That's pretty cool. Anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna steal a cram cannon heavy barrel, and we're gonna make a cannon, or something that looks like a cannon, out of this. A little heavy armor duct, like a type of blast shield there, hopefully protecting the parts here. I just realized we won't have very good EMP protection, but whatever. And yeah, I'm just gonna put on some cool stuff and I'll be back. I honestly see a lot of potential here for someone that's a lot better than me at building to make animations and stuff for this thing. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. We'll probably need to make some new models and stuff in the future if we can get this work to a decent level. We might even get some of you involved, perhaps. Well, let's begin with setting this up. And then just some neat details, like some screws here. Well, this is not to turn into a decoration episode, so we will basically see if this works right. I'm sure there could be very interesting designs to be made with this, but I think this is pretty neat looking 3000mm cannon, you know. It is my first 3000mm cannon, you know. Anyways, we can just aim this around now and basically fire. We don't have the cool like smoke effect, but I think we can add that pretty easily. Okay, I've been struggling some time here with breadboard. I decided maybe we should make it some type of a steam system. So I wanted to set up a sound block and a smoke generator with this like breadboard thing. Well, it doesn't really work. Well, I can't really make it work. I think it should be able to work, like, so I can have some kind of fire sound and stuff like that, but I probably need to ask someone to check that out later, because I can't really figure it out. But I could figure one thing out here. So it's not really good. The soundbox just doesn't want to, yeah, work with me here. But this thing almost works. When we fire this thing, a tiny piece of smoke comes out, or it did last time. I think maybe the issue is like this. No, the issue is that I need to rename like this red board. Obviously needs a name for this smoke generator. Now, when we fire, a tiny piece of smoke comes out. It's really a little bit, but it's something. I decided maybe it's steam controlled or whatever. But I think it looks pretty neat now. It is a 3000mm cannon. Yeah, and it's a steam powered cannon, so that's very steampunk. I've literally done no tests here. So we're just gonna spawn a marauder not too far away. We're gonna see if it actually can hit it. Oh, bam. Alright. We're desperately trying to aim at the marauder. We are reloading. Oh my, this is pretty interesting though. This is pretty interesting. Okay. Oh my god. Alright, alright, alright. No! We missed. Alright, we're gonna fire again. 3, 2, 1. Oh my, this is bad. Damn it. Or is God mode when you need it, right? Alright. It lobs over. Yeah, well, maybe not strange. Right. We have an outer shot here. Oh, bam! Damn! Alright. Yeah, I think this is a pretty nice 3000mm cannon. I mean, it works. I don't know, maybe I added that it makes smoke now too. I'm gonna save this thing. It's obviously the GMODISM industry's experimental lobster, like lobbing and lobster, fun, I don't know. 3000mm Steam Deck howitzer. Isn't this like too funny? This is the cannon before you spawn, and this oh no, it's all mimics. I've turned to the dark side. Yeah, there is no good place to put things that are not mimics on this, I suppose. Or maybe that's just an excuse. Well, we're like just gonna enter God mode and we're gonna spawn a crossbones. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Oh, bam! That's a lot of impact damage. Oh, it took out that turret completely. That's very funny. Now, this is of course very optimal range. I'll have to take a little look at this thing later and see, you know, if stuff is like makes sense. Because I'm not really sure how it calculates the ballistics. I think it takes it into account the right. I think it takes it into account the elevation and the speed, but I don't think it takes into account the amount of drag. So I think they'll have a tendency to be extremely inaccurate. Also, there is the slight issue where we can't use the slow motion mode in the game. Because if we do, they're probably not gonna launch very well. Alright, let's hope we get the one hit at least. Oh, no, they're overshooting. Or maybe it is taking the drag into account, but they kinda just don't really fall. That's possible too. Well, I guess we should just try and fire these manually then. See how... Yeah, they're definitely overshooting. It's very interesting. This is very interesting. So it's really trying to... And our like drag hack is probably messing things up a little bit there. Our smart solutions. I'm aiming at the lowest portion I can possibly aim for. Man, it's even worse. Okay, what if we just do like, come on, like this? Ugh. Oh man, no. I think I know where I should aim. There. What? Oh bam, did we hit? No. We probably have to make a calculator to make this work, but maybe if we in here? We're just trialing an error and see if we can get a hit, basically. Expertise is telling me... Oh, that we're getting close. So the ballistic calculations is like overshooting it. But if I can use that as a guidance, and then I move away and I'll try to fire slightly around it, bam! We can get a hit. I think this is pretty cool. You know, I think we should definitely revisit our 3000mm cannon concept in the future. But, well, I mean, it kind of works. Just need some tweaking. Just need some... Basically, we need a ballistics computer for it. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this will be it for this time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And do leave a like if you indeed did. Now, also, please check out the GMODISM.com homepage if you haven't already. It would be nice if some folks gave me some more feedback. A few of you have said something in the comments, but it would be nice to see if more people have opinions on the site, what can be added or improved or stuff like that. In any case, support options and stuff in description. This is your host, Eric of GMODISM, and we're signing out till next time. Bye!